Oh, happy Turkey Day. Gobble, gobble to all. My name is Damon. I'm your host. Welcome to the Comic Corner. We have a show for you today. I am completely thrown off. My camera bugged out for a little bit. I'm like, what's going on? This is Comic Corner. My name is Damon. What we do is comic news, reviews, interviews, all that good jazz. With me today on this lovely Turkey Day, TJ, aka Fat Thor. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. It is great to see you. Happy Thanksgiving to all the people out there celebrating. And I mean, we couldn't leave you guys without at least talking a little bit about the comics for the week, give you something to watch while you're waiting for the turkey to be done. So it's going to be exciting times.
Oh, for sure. What we got today? We got Batman versus Bane in absolute Batman, the big conclusion to everything going on with Batman and Bane in the absolute line before we get into a little bit of a crossover. Very wild conclusion. Meanwhile, in Absolute Wonder Woman, we got buildup to Zatanna coming and a nice little like tweener arc. I won't spoil it too much for you, TJ, because I know you haven't read it yet. But we have a nice little tweener arc going on there. And did DCKO just turn into Fortnite? I don't know. I'll get my thoughts on it. We will. But first, into our news segment. This came out last week, and I wanted to talk about it, but we just didn't have time because we were rushing through that episode. One of my favorite Boom Studios series, Grimm by Stephanie Phillips, art from Flaviano, was announced that it is getting a Netflix adaptation, TJ.
No way.
Yes.
That's
And Stephanie Phillips has
crazy.
been hinting at this. I didn't think it was going to be Grimm. I thought it was going to be like a completely separate project, but she said she was
Mhm.
like in the works of something. And it's like, oh, what's it going to be? It'd be really cool if it's Grimm because it did just end a couple weeks ago, like the entire series. And now it's already being turned into a Netflix series. I cannot wait for this. I've been telling people this look, if you want a series that is going to have like high concepts of like what if time was an individual, what if death in the end, like the concept was an individual but written by a really cool person. This is going to be for you. This series is for you. And what I love about this book too, and I hope they implement it into the show at least, because I know nothing will ever be a one for one. But one of the things they did really well, Stephanie did really well, is have musical lyrics kind of like tell the story throughout some of the issues. So music is really important to some issues. And I hope when the show comes out, like those same songs, they're able to get the rights to it at least, because it would play a really cool, like, oh yeah. So there's a few issues when I'd recognize a song and I'll go back and I play it and I'm literally listening to it as I'm reading the issue, and it just gives it a vibe, gives it a feel, gives it a flow, and potentially be able to see that actually play out in like a live action. It's gonna be crazy. But what Grimm is, for people who don't know, is what if there was a girl who didn't know how she died, and there's an entire ensemble of Reapers. All these Reapers had previous lives and they know how they died, but this girl didn't. So the story is unfolding. Why doesn't she know that? And then we dive into it. And you get into concepts of like the Grim Reaper being a person, time being a person, the end as a concept being a person. And then what happens if death dies? It's cool stuff, dude. It's cool stuff. I really love this series. I am so excited for Stephanie, for everyone involved from this comic and going over into the show. Stephanie said this show is in production already, which is crazy. So,
Damn.
yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Working fast. Two questions. Is
Mm.
this, I feel like it's not, but is this the one that starts off with like the two girls on the road trip with the pet alligator?
No, that
No, no,
is
no.
Red Before Black.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking it's not that one. But second question, when you say person, do you mean like a like human being or like an abstract entity of like that portrays as a person? Is that
They're
making
a human.
sense?
They're like a being.
Okay, yeah. I was
The
just
end is
curious.
a little more monstrous and demonic,
Hmm.
but everything else, like time, life, is like a human.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite ones. This is a series where you get Harold, who is the herald of life. This is that
I
series.
like it. Okay. I'm in.
Oh, it's great. It's great. You also have news as well from our friend Marwile Deli.
Yes, yes. So all my Stormcasters out there, friend of the show, Marewa Audeli, who you can go check out. We talk a lot about his Storm series, but the Storm series will continue, which it's getting rebooted as a #1, which if anyone watches our show knows our feelings on that. But in this instance, I don't even care just because I love this series so much. I think Marewa is one of the best writers working at Marvel right now. And so to know that it not only is continuing, but is an ongoing, fabulous. I cannot be more happy for Muewa and all my fellow Stormcasters. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. It's scheduled for February 2026, but I mean, we know how things shift around. So keep your eye on that. If you haven't, again, I will sing it from the top of the hilltops. Go read Storm. It is so, so good. Thunder War was awesome. Go check it out.
And you Stormcasters, you show up in numbers. We see it every time we interview
Yes.
Marwa.
We love you. We
So
love you
keep
all.
supporting this book.
Yes, and we will be talking about it. So tune in.
Yes. Even though TJ and I, we both kind of when they announced Shadows of Tomorrow, oh, this just seems like a rehash of From the Ashes. But it's fine.
This is a shining example from that I don't want to say series, what initiative, I guess you could
initiative,
say.
that era.
Yeah, era. But if you're gonna read anything from that, it's Storm for sure. For sure.
Let's get into some books that dropped this week. Oh, buddy.
Holy crap.
Batman, number 14, written by Scott Snyder, artist Nick Dragotta, colors Frank Martin, letter Clayton Cowles, editors Sabrina Fuchs, Katie Kubert, and Chris Conroy. I love this Absolute universe. I have really loved this Absolute Batman. This arc of Absolute Batman has been my favorite arc of Absolute Batman. And 100%. This issue is wild. This issue is pure chaos. And I thought a couple of times that we were going to break some very hard Batman rules. But Scott Snyder, he knows how to toy with you. He knows how to be he's done this almost throughout the entire series where you think he's going to break a huge Batman rule. And then he's just like, gotcha. At least 3 times already.
Yeah.
And it's just cool. This issue features the big final fight between Batman and Bane, this abomination that is Bane, who has a power level infinity. It seems like he can take an insane amount of venom, and he just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Dude,
and bigger.
Bane kaiju, basically. What the hell?
There's a really cool back and forth between, and they brought this up earlier in the series, which I do love, how Bruce was helping Waylon get ready for a fight against Bibbo. And it was more like a UFC fight, not like a boxing fight when the fight was actually happening. It was like, oh, that's actually a cool little way. And it's not just boxing, it's a UFC fight. And they teased that way earlier in the series. And we finally get the payoff of that here and going back and forth. And I so much love, there's just so much to talk about this issue. First of all, the art from Nick Dragotta, fantastic. Frank Martin's colors really add to it. They're a little swampy, a little darker saturated. It just adds to that grittiness, and it works really well. But the story here is so cool. And what I do love by the end of this is that gang of rogues that we were thinking after they all turned. I'm like, oh no, they're gonna turn on Bruce. They didn't. And they're still friends.
Dude, the Bat family, man. I'm telling you.
Seemingly.
Yes, absolute Bat family.
So cool. I loved Harley's inclusion in this. She has a really cool role. Catwoman has a really important role by the end of this, but I loved it. This was a 4.9. If I'm not giving it a 5, it's a 4.9. DJ, give me your thoughts on this issue. This issue is so cool.
I'm giving it a 5 for sure. excuse me, like you said, this issue is just so cool. And I think Scott Snyder, he just really has an eye and is really tapped into like what fans want, like what we want, and then also providing us with a very compelling and heartfelt story on top of all that. Like this issue could have easily and is in a lot of respects just a big punchy fighty, which I absolutely love. It's just them going at each other the most brutal way possible. But there's also, like you said, we get the payoff with the Wayland fight. We get the stuff with him and his friends and Selena. And it's just such a great balance, I think. And with an issue like this, it would have been easy, again, just to stick with the punchy, fighty tournament style, like Mortal Kombat kind of style. But the way he's able to balance that in one issue is really incredible. It reminds me, which is one of my personal favorites, Daniel Warren Johnson's Better Ray Bill. If anyone read that at the very end, very similar kind of just insane fight with him and Surtur. But again, has that heart. And I think this issue really mirrors that in my favorite ways. So yeah, 5 out of 5. Insane conclusion to this first arc. Again, both narratively and just spectacle. I don't know how if you're not reading this book, I don't know how. It's
It
it's
kind of
just
blows me. Yeah.
crazy, man. It's just crazy. Like it's nuts.
If you haven't been reading Absolute Batman, do it because it's really cool. The first volume, which is issues I believe 1 through 6 of the series, is out in paper, like soft cover and hardcover trade. So you can go out and get it. Go do it if you haven't done it already. Just you're gonna really enjoy it. If you just want like a hardcore wild twist of what Bruce Wayne can be, like emphasis on twist. It's just wild. I love this book. I think it's so cool. This arc has won me over, I think, because the first volume I thought was okay, but this Bane arc completely won me over.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, insane is like the best way I can describe it because it's like not even just so well written, but again, just like the twists, the turns. And I also want to emphasize, like you said too, Nick Dragata's art, because the action is just so dynamic. And I think it's very hard, like a signal of a really great artist to me, especially in a book like this, is making the action not only dynamic, but it like makes sense. I think we've all seen where it's like someone gets kicked on this panel, but then like the positioning is weird. It just flows, I think, so nicely. And with all the insanity that's going on, I think it's just really impressive how cohesive everything was. So yeah, shout out Nick Dragata and, like you said, Frank Martin as well. It's two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I think I just talked myself up to a 5 on this. I think I did it.
Do
I think
it,
I give that
man.
extra point 1.
Do it. You gotta, man. You gotta.
I've also been really loving Absolute Wonder Woman. This has been my favorite of the Absolute titles. This is Absolute Wonder Woman 14. This is written by Kelly Thompson. Art here from Matias Bergara. Colors Jordi Belair. Letter Rebecca Carey. And editors Ashpati and Chris Conroy. We are in the midst of like a 2-issue mini arc, kind of like tweener setup, which is at the same time setting up the Zatanna stuff coming up. We get some really cool things. What I do love about what Kelly has done with this Wonder Woman, outside of just like she's a witch and she's from hell, and that just is cool, but she does like my favorite magic trope, which is magic always has a price. And every volume has dealt with that in a way, where in the first volume, it was like the price was literally her arm, right? In this arc, the price is for her presence because she is a magical being. The price is kind of like this evilish, magical mirror version of herself going around and causing havoc. So the only way for that to be destroyed, because it's just a mirror version of herself, is for her to be destroyed. So when you're in a position like that and you don't want to die, that's not fun. Where do you go? Like, who do you turn to? It's like I'm caught in a loop. Well, you go to the god of all gods. You go to Gaia, and you make a
Let's
deal.
go.
And you make a deal. Really cool stuff. As I mentioned, you get some Zatanna lead up here. I am so excited. There's so many people on the internet who are already making incredible fan art. I am so excited for that arc. But the fact that it's a treat, because next arc isn't the Zatanna stuff yet. Next arc, TJ, is the Batman Wonder Woman crossover.
Love it.
Like, we are just eating so good.
Yeah, these two are the heavy. I mean, everyone who watches the show knows that Absolute Martian Manhunter has special place in my heart. But I think, like, unbiasedly, Wonder Woman and Batman are killing the absolute line. So it just makes sense that those are the two they would pick, because I think a lot of people would assume like Batman Superman. Yeah, I mean, it's like, PB and J, but I think it's really smart and more exciting that they're teaming up these versions of Batman and Wonder Woman, because I think that dynamic is going to be very interesting, especially where we leave Bruce in the issue we were just talking about.
Yes.
I think that really makes Diana and this version of Bruce very contrasting, and it'll be interesting to see them come together.
I've seen some specs on what the tie-ins will be about, and it seems like Diana may be trying to help with Waylon and his whole situation. Maybe try to turn him back. I don't know. But I'm excited for it, man. Like, I think this is DC killing it. You're killing it. On the absolute front, you're killing it. On the mainline front, mostly killing it. Because we'll get to that right now. By the way, what would you give as a rating? Actually, wait, you didn't read it. I'll give you a rating. 4.5. Yeah, you didn't read it. 4.5 for
I will
absolute
say,
Wonder
though,
Woman
the only
content.
reason I didn't read it is, one, I didn't have time, and two,
Yep.
I need to read 13. And
Yes.
since I figured, since it's the beginning of a new arc, I really want to read
mini
it,
arc.
and not just skim.
Yeah.
So yeah, but love the series, so I'm excited.
Okay, I say mostly killing it because DCKO is interesting. I think we've been a little bait and switched here, though, and I think that is my biggest gripe with it. This is written by Joshua Williamson and Zack Snyder combo, artists from Javi Hernandez and Zermanico, colors Alejandro Sanchez, and letter Hassan Osmani Alao. I did say bait and switched a little bit because we were kind of introduced to DCKO as that bracket tournament. And I thought that was really cool. Like, oh, we're doing like a whole tournament style bracket. This versus who? How is Harley Quinn going to be able to beat Metamorpho? Oh, and in reality, as I kind of teased earlier in the rundown, it's more Fortnite. Because how it works is they're all kind of thrown into an arena where all like these little huge DC objects. I don't know what exactly to call them. Essentially, like mother boxes and the bio belts. Like they're all scattered, all in the lasso of truth, all scattered everywhere. It can go and like anyone can go and get them, and then become more powerful. So you don't actually see the matchups that we were teased with, which is a little frustrating, and I feel a little baited and switched because of that. However, the concept as a whole still remains the same, and characters' ideals are being tested here. And I think it's still cool in that regard. I do emphasize the Fortnite thing though, because it makes more sense now how like you're gonna see like Homelander and Vampirella show up and like all these other characters and all these other things are gonna appear because that's very Fortnite-y, right? Like you're all just kind of in a battle royale, and whoever comes out on top is King Omega KO. It's neat. I think my favorite, I'll give one little quick spoiler. I think my favorite quote unquote death is Joker got a hold of the bio belt, which is Adam's belt. Essentially, for the non DC people, he got Ant-Man's powers. And for the Marvel people, get big, get small. How does Joker defeat Big Barda? Sort of Thanos her. Except went in her head, really, really small, and started jabbing around. in the brain.
I love Big
And
Barda too, so that one hurt.
uh,
That one was that pissed me off.
TJ, you have the chance to go through this a little bit?
Yeah, I skimmed it. So I didn't read the first issue, so I had no idea what was going on, but tuned in for the spectacle. But and also I'm an old man, so I've never played Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite. Obviously, I'm aware of it cuz I'm not, under a rock. But it's funny that you say that because I didn't pick that up, but now that you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's 100% what this is. Which
It's a battle
again,
royale.
yeah, I mean, that's fine. Again, I'm an old man, so it doesn't really appeal to me at all. But I mean, from the outside perspective, it was fine. People beating the shit out of each other. I don't know if this is a big spoiler because, again, I'm not too invested in this, but seeing Superman with the Omega beams, that was freaking cool. Like the visual spectacle was really cool.
Mhm.
Like as far as what's going on with the actual story, again, I'm very clueless. But yeah, again, if that's people's bag, I mean, obviously Fortnite's super big, so if that's your bag, then you're really going to enjoy this. But as an old man that is used to their usual funny books, it just it was whatever.
I think it's fine. Like I mentioned, my whole thing is I do feel slightly bait and switched because I thought it'd be more
See, that's
individual
lame. I
matchups.
don't like that. That's lame. Like, just say what it is. Don't kind of, like you said, kind of lure me in with this bracket thing. But
Yeah.
whatever.
So that's whatever. And also the fact that like Batman was supposed to be in it and was on the bracket, and then he's no longer because he got knocked out in the pre-tournament essentially by Joker. Because Joker wasn't supposed to be in here, and now he is. And now Batman's doing his own thing. There's a bunch of tie-ins. What I do appreciate about the tie-ins is they aren't really telling what's going on in the KO tournament. They're telling things going around it, at least from the tie-ins that I've read. So I appreciate that. I think DC is doing a good job on that front to where you get a little extra story, but not getting the necessities that you would expect in the main line to happen somewhere else. And then all of a sudden you are reading the main line. You're like, when did this important thing happen? Like, really important thing. I'm looking at you, Blood Hunt.
Please don't bring up Blood Hunt, dude. Please.
I'm looking at you, Blood Hunt. It's something like that. I think it's fine, like a 3.5 out of 5 type of issue for me. Fun, big, punchy book, and you get to see some crazy things.
I like big punchy books. There's nothing wrong with that.
You also like Thor books. Speaking of big and punchy, this is written by Al Ewing, artist Juan Cabal, colors Mattia Iacano, and letter Joe Sabino. This is the Mortal Thor number 4. Fat Thor. What did you make of Mortal Thor number 4?
Mortal Thor 4, Mortal Thor 4. It was awesome. It was great. I'm really enjoying this new kind of, again, we just talked about like kind of reboot, non-reboot sort of thing. But I really am enjoying it. This is, so people who don't know, Thor is dead, quote unquote dead. There is some guy who is not Thor, but is Thor by the name of Sigurd Jarlson, who is working construction in New York, trying to, has no idea what's going on. And in this issue, we actually get to see Asgard side. Like, what the hell is Asgard doing during all this after Thor's death? So we follow his son Magni, who is, different reality, magic shenanigans. But so Magni is now in the main line universe and kind of struggling. Like, should he take his father's role as all father? Like, what should he do? So this issue was a lot of fun. It didn't provide any kind of groundbreaking things to the kind of mystery of what's going on, but it was just fun being back in Asgard. We get some fighting with the stone trolls, again seeing this kind of conflict within Magni. It's really great. Al Ewing's killing it. And I know towards the end of Immortal Thor, I was kind of like, I don't know where we're going with this. Like, I like it, but I'm not really seeing where this is going. I see the vision. I see it now, and it makes me like retroactively understand where we were going before. So yeah, very high on this series right now.
I am curious, as a Doctor Strange fan who has not been reading this newest issue of Doctor Strange now in Asgard, Has Steven been a factor at all in any of these issues?
I don't want to be a bad Thor fan here, but I actually haven't caught up on Strange of Asgard since like
No, but
issue
like
two.
I
But no, he's
not
not.
on that side.
Yeah, no,
Has
he
he been
hasn't
shown
been.
up at all in here?
No, he has not shown
Okay.
up one iota in the Mortal Thor. So I don't know what the hell happened to him in that Asgard series, but he's not there. At least for right now, he's not there. He was
Okay.
shown. I'm pretty sure, or maybe it was Storm, the Storm series, because they kind of have a little overlap, but it might have been the final of Immortal Thor. They did show Strange like ominously looking over, like I think like the boat that was sending for Thor's funeral, something along those lines. So he might be, doing some sneaky stuff in the background. I don't even know if Doom is still Sorcerer Supreme either. I don't know what the hell's going on, man.
Not anymore yet. Not until Wanda takes over, because that's already been spoiled. Thanks, Marvel Solicits. So yeah, what'd you give this issue? How
Yeah,
would you rate it?
Mortal Thor, great. I would give it a 4 out of 5. Yeah,
A
not for
four.
any
A 4 out of 5 for
4.
Mortal Thor number
Mortal
4.
Mortal Thor 4 out of 5. Yeah. So yeah, it was like I said, it was just a fun issue. It wasn't groundbreaking, but I get given the first 3 issues, I'm loving the pacing. I think we're this whole kind of mystery thing. It's not like the Daredevil that we talked about a while ago, where it was like, oh, Daredevil's dead, and then next issue, oh, he's back, and like that,
Oh yeah.
everything's cool now. Like we're really digging deep into this whole like, what does it mean for the All Father to be dead, and all that stuff. So yeah,
Didn't mention
two
it, but
thumbs.
also Stephanie Phillips, who has that Grimm series coming out to Netflix, which you mentioned earlier, officially taking over as lead writer of Daredevil next year.
No way.
Yeah, you
Hell
haven't heard
yeah.
that?
No, I haven't, but we talked about earlier, I'm a big fan of Stephanie Phillips. Her Phoenix run is absolutely nuts. So that's exciting for me. I'm
Yeah.
excited for her to get on another Marvel title.
Big Marvel title too. Speaking of big scary
Big.
monster, the Infernal Hulk #1, part of one of Marvel's many reboots, written by now Marvel exclusive writer Philip Kennedy Johnson, artist Nick Klein, colors Matt Wilson, and letterer Corey Pettit. TJ, tell me what happens in Infernal Hulk #1, and also because this is a #1, can you go into this without reading the previous run, volume,
Yeah,
iteration?
yes, you can, but it would benefit you greatly to have read it, is what I'll say. And I want to start off too. Congratulations to PKJ, friend of the show, on the Marvel exclusive. That is freaking awesome. I cannot wait for what else they have in store for him. But yeah, Infernal Hulk, like you said, it's like it's not a reboot, but the #1 shenanigans. It's continuing his original story though, where Hulk is being chased by the Mother of Horrors, which is the primordial where every bad, evil monster, creepy, slimy thing comes from. Mother of Horrors, and Hulk is like her prize. Like she wants Hulk basically so she can come back into the mortal world, bring all the scary monsters with her. So the series has been following Hulk encountering all of these monsters as the Mother of Horrors tries to get him. Well, at the end of that, she succeeds, which is, freaking crazy. So she possesses Hulk. He opens the green door, which fans of the Immortal Hulk may remember is basically where the gamma power comes from. And now Banner is gone. Hulk is gone. He is eldest. He is Mother of Horrors. That's so he is now Infernal Hulk and just straight up monster. I've said before, if people like Hulk being a monster, this is the run for you. Well, now this is definitely the run for you because he is evil, like just straight evil, bad monster Hulk. He's killing people. Like, shout out Nick Klein as well, another one of my favorite artists. Just brutal body horror. We get like a city of like bones and flat, like just
Oh,
craziness. So
crazy.
people who have been reading this series will kind of know we've had a lot of this kind of stuff, but it's taken up to 11, and I just could not be more excited of where we're going. Again, shout out PKJ. This is one of my favorite Hulk runs. And like I said in the beginning of this, if you do want to jump in on this fresh, you totally can. Johnson does a really great job with the opening kind of title card, giving you just a little, eldest is the mother of horrors, blah, blah, blah. She has possessed Hulk. Like, let's get going. Which, again, if you've read it, it gives you a better context. But if you haven't, what else do you need to know? Hulk, bad, monster, evil. Boom, let's go.
Give me a rating.
5 for sure. Well, especially because it's a number 1. Like with the crazy final, to see how we're following that up, I think it's a amazing follow up, and just again raises the stakes from something we thought was the pinnacle. Like we reached the peak. He's fighting Mother of Horrors, but now there's a whole new peak that we didn't even know was there. So yeah, awesome. Definitely pick it up.
All right. Next week's polls. Batman, regular Batman, Matt Fraction's Batman. Birds of Prey, 28 something is Killing Children, 45. Ultimate Universe, 2 years in, number 1. And enjoy it, because we ain't getting the 3 years in. And Ultimate X-Men 22. TJ, what's on your polls next week?
Well, I honestly, I looked at this and I kind of had a mini heart attack for a second because I was so shocked. But I realized I don't have 2 years in like on my polls, but I only have Ultimate X-Men number 22, and then again 2 years in, which I just mentioned I missed. But yeah, 2 polls, man. I don't think that's happened since I was a wee lad.
Yeah, that's usually reserved for like the infamous 5th week of a month type of thing.
Yeah, I got lucky,
That's
man.
bizarre.
Well, the week after is kind of beefy, but hey, I'll take what I can get.
The Doctor Strange number 1 is out next week, the one where he is in Asgard. So maybe you can get a little if you want.
Honestly, I can't remember if I took it off my polls or not, but check it out. Sorry, people, the polls are just getting too insane, man. I had to. Cuts had to be made, and it hurt. A lot of them hurt really bad. I didn't want to do it, but
yep.
I think that's what sucks. Like when you have to take something off your polls, not because you're not enjoying it, but just like again, cuts have to be made sometimes, and it sucks.
I agree. No, I totally agree. It's one of the many downsides of when you have so many good comics out. Like when DC started like knocking things out of the park, it tripled. It felt like my pulse. And unfortunately, on Marvel's side, a lot of their books fell off, so it kind of evened out in a way. But that's the game that you play,
Yeah, that's the game, baby.
That's the game. Well, TJ, thank you for joining me on this lovely Thanksgiving Thursday.
Thank you for joining me.
Hope you have a great day. Hope you all have a great day for tuning in. As always, go support your local comic shop. Go to comicshoplocator.com to find nearest comic shop near you. Stay safe, be well, enjoy your holiday, and we should have a show next week. You and I are going to have to talk about this because I may be a bit busy.
I'll be there.
We'll figure it out.
I'll be here.
All right, we'll figure it out. See you next week.